biggest capacity V8 he could squeeze under the bonnet of the E92, and then he threw a supercharger on it, and he said this year I threw another 300 horsepower at it. It's 1,020 horsepower unleashed by Kevin Piskolty as he works his way around the circuit. Look at that left foot brake onto the throttle nice and early, fulfilling all of that outside zone. Collects that inner, back out to the outer as he now works his way down the hill. Hitting the rev limit, big angle from Piskolty. Oh, it just catches him out a little shy there on that inner. Across the line he goes.
Yeah, just a touch. Definitely using all of that horsepower. Yeah. So there's room when you're adding that.
Right, Kevin Piskolty from Hungary off the line in this incredible BMW E92. More power this year, another 300 horsepower. Can he put it to use right now? Maybe he left some in the tank for first qualifying run. He certainly did, because now he's coming out absolutely ripping. Look at that from Piskolty. I want to know if he kept both the rear wheels in that zone as he comes through. Down the hill he goes, looks to dial on the angle, picks it up. Oh!
No!
To lead
That's
as well,
not
so he
fair.
knows exactly what he needs to do as Olofnia now starts to creep already. Piskolty off that start line, big crunch kick across the circuit, then opens up all the power off that V8. Oh, look at this from Olofnia, fires that car, almost throws two wheels off circuit. It's deep. Oh, it's a big one. As he rips the wheels off the car. Kevin Piskolty, Hungarian driver, said he's had some issues with the car today. He's been working on it non-stop. What can he do right now as he fires that car through, flicks it to the edge of the circuit, as Piskolty now opens up the throttle, that supercharger winds, it's still full dry at the moment. Look at this from Piskolty, tags the cone on the wall as Piskolty puts in an absolute blinder so far. Piskolty nice and deep into that zone, doesn't get too deep though, doesn't flex the fiberglass on the back of this car as Piskolty flicks the car up, flames erupt from the side skirt as Piskolty stands on the throttle across the line.
And it's so roulette right
Can
now.
he follow the run? Can he mirror that run? He sits with a 90 at the moment, and what can he do? 21st position for Piskolty at the moment, flicks that car in big grip. You can hear those tyres hanging on as he now gets himself in the outside zone. The V8 screams with that supercharger bolted to the top as he flicks it through the middle of the circuit. Nice and wide, lights up the tyres as Piskolty puts that car right to the edge of the tarmac. Opens the throttle once again as Piskolty puts it into the outside zone. One more zone to go and across the line.
Yeah, grunts it through that run, paints the walls with the back of the bumper, really pushing it.
I know what I need to do now in the lead. Here we go, they're off the line, ready to rock and roll. It's Korpolinski to take on Piskolty. Piskolty to lead first as they come through the gears down. Big clutch kick in that BMW E92 as he flicks it across the circuit. Val Korpolinski looks for the opening, looks for the door, shallows up the angle a little bit. He's not going to play too dangerous here as Piskolty bounces the back end of that BMW on and off of that outside zone on the wall. They fire through the middle of the circuit, and you can see Korpolinski playing it safe, very safe indeed. And Kevin Piskolty just tickles the back end off the end of that wall. He's picking up the pace now as he comes down the hill, keeps it clean, drops a wheel into that big puddle on the edge of the circuit. Korpolinski dives onto the front wheel, onto the door, no problems this time for both guys across the line.
I think because of the banking there, the water ran off there really quick, and it doesn't take home the win just because of that. So we'll see.
Well, all to play for in the second half of the run as they flick through the gears and flick the cars from left to right as they fire in. Val Korpolinski now puts the back end of that Nissan 200SX into that outside zone. And look at this from Piskolty, no holding back. He knows that he could be in contention for this one. Both guys put the back end into the wall, smoosh the back bumpers off the wall. Look at this from Piskolty trying to get traction out of that outside zone and get himself back onto the door of that Nissan as they fire down the hill. Piskolty looking once again to pull and try and dive onto the side of Val Korpolinski's S14 as they fire up the hill, both on the wall, both across the line.
Yeah, it's really.
And he is the multi-Hungarian national champion as he comes off the line, yet to get that podium here at Drift Masters. Every year he comes, you know, with that mindset, with that style, with that driving ability, but yet to find himself into that zone, wheel up on the curb, that'll be points deducted, but nevertheless, it looks like Piskolty has found a completely dry line so far as Piskolty uses all of that 1,020 horsepower now to navigate this carbon Kevlar BMW right where it needs to be. We just see a shot of his spotter in the tower, shouting down to him, telling him what is going on as Piskolty puts bumper to wall and tyre to line and across the line.
Yeah, Piskolty.
Kevin Piskolty at the moment sits in 24th position with an 83 dead on the board, and what can Piskolty do as he flicks that car across the circuit? Look at that, absolutely flying. Can he hold on to it? He's going to go wide, but he does manage to keep it on the track as Kevin Piskolty is coming out swinging right now, wants to get himself higher up the order, and smoke erupts from the back of the BMW E92 as he puts it towards the wall, and on the throttle nice and early goes Piskolty, winds himself around, works himself into the groove and across the line.
You know what? I knew that was coming. I knew that 360
You knew there was
was
a
coming.
360 coming, yeah.
Yeah, it just the way that he got through that run.
If you look for that first ever Drift Masters podium, loves it here in Mondello Park. What can he do right now? He's not got an easy battle in top 32. Nobody has. As they come down the hill through the gears, onto the back bumper goes Piskolty. As Korpolinski puts that car to angle, looks for the edge of the circuit. Very nice lead line so far from Pavel Korpolinski as he puts it into the outside zone, and that opens the door for Kevin Piskolty. Piskolty washes a little bit there, trying to get down the inside. It pays off as he almost takes the front end off that BMW. Piskolty puts himself right where he needs to be, a little squeeze on the throttle, trying to get on that front wheel, and he makes it. We get the nod. We were looking at Pavel Korpolinski as he says to the starlight marshal, I'm ready to go. He creeps off the line goes green. As we come through the gears, you can see Korpolinski not letting Piskolty get away as he flicks it to angle. Nice line so far from both drivers, and now he starts to open the throttle. Drive away, but there's contact. Korpolinski hits the back end of Kevin Piskolty's BMW E92 as they fire through, the back end destroyed, and once again Korpolinski goes for the back bumper that's not there anymore. It's forced under the back of the car, but unshaken, unfazed is Piskolty.
Brand new sponsor this weekend, a guy that's here just to set up the suspension. He said the car drives better than it's ever driven before, and he said, I feel so confident this weekend. Well, let's see if that confidence can translate into skill, and look at that from Piskolty as he puts it right to the edge of the circuit. This is unbelievable so far from the Hungarian driver. Can he hold on to it? He can. Look at that, deep into that zone, full throttle. Oh, a little shy though as he fires through. Flames are up from the side skirt of that car as he puts it right to the wall, into the outside zone as he pedals it around with the back bumper to the wall once again, and across the line for Kevin Piskolty.
I said it before, right now.
Seen it. Can he get it right now? The man from Hungary comes off the line in this supercharged V8 BMW E92 full carbon Kevlar, flicks that car across the circuit, down with the handbrake on the throttle nice and early, falls out of the outside zone, has to work to get it back into there again as he hits the rev limiter, trying to find those outside zones. Now dials on the angle, now works for it as Kevin Piskolty full throttle, left foot brakes as he comes down the hill into this final outside zone, onto the foot brake he goes in, pushing the back bumper of that BMW towards the wall, gets the job done across the line.
Could be close to that. Couple of spots in there though, I don't know. We'll see how heavily the judges want to weigh a few of the mistakes that we did see in it, but it could be close for him. I don't know. There's that an attempt at 360
right now for a battle in top 32. Can it stay? Can it get him into the top 16 through the gears? Comes Zakaril as he chases down Kevin Piskolty. Piskolty floats that E92 BMW into that first outside zone, and Zakaril onto the back bumper. The big fast transition from Piskolty pays off and starts to pull away from Marco Zakaril as he fires it on an angle. They flick through a really nice arc, dials on the angle. Oh, and a bumper-to-bumper transition from Zakaril. And Piskolty gets himself into this outside zone. Zakaril reins in the Hungarian and goes wheel to wheel.
That was not, and this shows so much too how
they get the thumbs up all around. The light goes green. Zakaril now chased down by Kevin Piskolty as he leads him out through the gears. Down they come. Look for that initiation as Piskolty floats across the circuit, tucks up on the inside. As now Zakaril goes full throttle in that first outside zone. A little scrappy from Kevin Piskolty there in the chase, but now starts to clean it up as he chases him down through the inside. But it's a bad lead line from Marco Zakaril as he goes for that outside zone and can't get there. And you can see Kevin Piskolty hanging back, letting Marco Zakaril make the mistakes. He gets this final outside zone and Zakaril goes for the line. Dabs a handbrake. Marco Zakaril, the higher qualifier, again opting to chase first as they come off the line and through the gears. Kevin Piskolty to lead out Marco Zakaril, one spot in top 16 points. Onto the throttle goes Kevin Piskolty into the outside zone. A little wobble there for Marco Zakaril. Now starts to get himself into the pocket. And can he keep up with the Hungarian as they fire through? And look at that from Marco Zakaril. But he messed himself up on the transition. Now has to get himself back into it as Kevin Piskolty lays down an absolute heater of a lead run. Marco Zakaril back on the door across the line.
Yeah, Kevin Piskolty gave him everything he needed to put
starts to creep off the line. They get the green line. We're ready to go in the final run of our top 32 as they slam through the gears. Kevin Piskolty in hunt of Marco Zakaril. They fire those cars right to the edge of the circuit. It's a wheel dip for Zakaril. It's very, very wide. He hangs on to it though. How does he hold on? And he puts Piskolty on the inside. They both get back into it again. Now missing those zones as Zakaril lets the car wash all the way out. Kevin Piskolty fires through, tries to find the outside zone, looks for the side of Marco Zakaril, but can't gain that lost ground and across the line.
This is exactly
weekend. There's nothing more to put that Eurofighter on top of the podium. Well, here we go, off the line and through the gears. Kevin Piskolty to lead out Benedictus Cherba. Nice initiation for Piskolty. Clinical line, but drops a little bit out of our zone one. Now fires through, starts to pick up the pace and starts to drive away from Benedictus Cherba. Cherba caught in the smoke, goes for a big dive though, goes for the side of that E92 BMW as he fires back into this outside zone. A little bit too much angle there for Piskolty. Has to adjust and get himself back in that final outside zone and opens the door for Cherba.
Yeah, scrappy battle. Yeah. Definitely a scrappy battle. Both drivers
chase down Piskolty. Sorry, get chased down by Piskolty as he hammers through the gears. Cherba in full business mode, no messing around. Business out front, party out back as the Lithuanian throws it in, and he does exactly the same. Drops out of that first outside zone, fires it through, out of the forest they come. Oh! Piskolty's wide. Piskolty's up onto the gravel. Can he hold onto it? And he's not. He's lost in a cloud of smoke as Benedictus Cherba now puts that car into the final outside zone and kisses the back bumper, the tail lights onto the wall, and Cherba absolutely smokes out Riga.
Wow, Cherba, did he completely just shake up Piskolty? What?
Yeah, I'm not feeling Kevin Piskolty's in the zone. We'll see right now as he comes off the line through the gears. BMW E92 screams down as he puts the car right up against the wall on the throttle nice and early. Kevin Piskolty going to prove me wrong right now and slam out a 98-point run as he puts the car onto the wall. Both of those outside zones. Piskolty into that zone nice and early. Flexes the carbon Kevlar on the back of this BMW as he now looks for outside zone 5, looks for the transition, gets it done perfectly as Piskolty absolutely proving me wrong. He's listening to every word I say across the line.
Turns out the announcer's curse.
I talked dirty of him. He said he was terrible in practice earlier. He came out and absolutely smashed it with an 87.5. He needs to do better than that, Kevin Piskolty, and he goes for it as he fires down. The Hungarian driver unleashes 1,000 horsepower from the back end of this LSX supercharged BMW E92. Looks for a clean line but messes it up and he fails to get to 4. He's in it very, very late as Kevin Piskolty now flicks that car to angle, goes for outside zone 5, looks for the wall once again, and Piskolty's driving angry now as he goes for the final zone and across the line.
The setup looks so good in that car too.
Over aggressive as he comes off the line and through the gears as Nikavia flicks that 180SX to angle. Look at this from Kevin Piskolty, straight down onto the door, straight into formation as they fire through that second outside zone. Kevin Piskolty not letting him get away. He knows he's fast as he knows the Norwegian's got that style as he flicks it into outside zone 4, full throttle, no messing around. Look at that from Kavia, full tilt as he flicks it into outside zone 5, and a good transition, a good dive from the Hungarian as he goes onto the front wheel, and Kevin Piskolty not letting him get away.
Oh, this is another finals level battle here.
Wow.
The driving is so
transitions the car maybe at an angle to fire in, starts to creep off the line as they get that green light for Piskolty to lead out to Kavia for a spot in the top 16 away. So look at this from Piskolty. He's absolutely ungone. He's along the wall, perfect line from Piskolty as he stands on the front. He'll tag onto the wall, it upsets the balance, but he doesn't put him too far out of formation. Wow, look at this from Kavia, he drives angry. He's glued to the door. Wow, look at Kavia. He's all over the side of Kevin Piskolty. The transitions make no sense. Kavia is glued to Kevin Piskolty, pushing from the final outside zone. Test the Hydro one last time before he gets off the line and ready to go. A short shift through the gears as Kevin Piskolty leads out to Kavia. Kavia asking Piskolty, you lead first, you show me what you got as they fire into that first outside zone. Piskolty deep onto the wall as now Kavia starts to rein him in. No losing him this time as they come through. A big transition from both guys and a one more as they both get back on power. Kevin Piskolty wanders in outside zone 4 as they fire in. Oh, a big angle thrown at it by Kavia as Kavia tries everything to try and take down the Hungarian driver.
Wow, just stepping up again, not making the same mistake twice.
It's going to be Kavia to lead out Kevin Piskolty. The final spot in top 16 awaits. Who's it going to be? Will it be Kavia? Will it be Piskolty? They fire through the gears and Piskolty not letting Kavia get away as they fire down into outside zone 1, side by side into outside zone 2. And look at this from Piskolty. It's aggressive, it's angry as he pushes the Norwegian to the edge of the circuit. Through the smoke comes Piskolty, but he's led on a perfect line from the Norwegian sledgehammer as Kavia gets the bumper onto the wall, goes for the transition. And look at that from Kevin Piskolty, is absolutely beautiful. And a big tyre fire erupts from the back of Kavia's car as he gets it to the wall and across the line.
Oh, and
he certainly is. Piskolty, the lower qualifier, asked to chase by Laurie Heinen. Heinen wants to keep it to the usual format as he screams off the line. That NASCAR Pro Charge V8 180SX puts it to the outside zone and stands in the throttle, starts to drive away from Kevin Piskolty. Piskolty's going to try and use everything he can in his toolbox to make a kill on the side of that car, but he makes a mistake on that transition and allows Laurie Heinen to get into outside zone 4 nice and early as he now fires back. Piskolty makes a mistake again. Heinen deep onto the wall as he looks for the final outside zone. Piskolty onto the back bumper.
Yeah, for Piskolty, the way that he was transitioning,
whether this is the right decision to lead or chase first, we're going to find out. As now Kevin Piskolty comes through the gears and up to initiation as Laurie Heinen looks for the back bumper of that E92 BMW V8 supercharged underneath the bonnet of both cars as they stand on the accelerator. Kevin Piskolty on a beautiful lead line, but that's opening the door for Laurie Heinen as he makes a brave dive into outside zone 4. Look at it from Heinen, he wants to seal the deal, he wants to get the job done as Heinen waits for the transition once again. Piskolty comes up a little short on outside zone 5, but goes deep on 6, and Heinlein is buried onto the side. In 2018 and said, one day I'll drive in Drift Masters, and here he is on the biggest stage tomorrow. We sell out this stadium with 50,000 people, and this man will hope to be in the show, in the big show, the top 32, the top 16 for it, as he puts it right where it needs to be. Piskolty, flames erupt from the side skirt as Kevin Piskolty works the back end of this 1,000 horsepower supercharged V8 BMW E92 through the middle of the circuit. He comes as he looks for outside zone 6 and collects it. The smoke absolutely filling out the stadium. We can barely see Piskolty as flames lick up the side of the car and across the line.
Oh, Piskolty,
Back on the line we go with Kevin Piskolty as he comes off the line. That first qualifying runner, 92.5. What can the Hungarian do? Looking good, nice initiation, gets himself up close and personal to the wall as he flexes the carbon Kevlar on the back of this BMW, and Kevin Piskolty, another driver, getting a little up close and personal with the wall, but not too close. So it's a very nice line into outside zone 4. Look at the smoke pouring from the back end of this BMW, supercharged V8 underneath the bonnet as Kevin Piskolty goes for that nice wide line, that big swing into outside zone 6. It's absolutely beautiful from Kevin Piskolty. He's got this track dialed and under his belt, and he's in the zone as Piskolty lays down a heater. Sits on the line. Yeah, getting it up. Piskolty starts to creep already in that supercharged V8 E92 BMW. The carbon Kevlar drift games. 2JZ S15 fires into initiation. Falvey on the outside line, perfect. But look at this, Falvey opens the door for Piskolty. Piskolty on a hunt right now as he looks down the door, finds it as he fires through that inside zone. Now starts to collect all the dots, and Falvey on an absolute flyer of a lead line, but it's opening the door for Kevin Piskolty. And the Hungarian doesn't want to back down as they fire through the middle of the circuit. Look at that from Piskolty. It's absolutely beautiful as Piskolty looks across the track at the door of the S15, but then makes a mistake as Falvey brings it across the line. It will lead out Falvey. Falvey probably knows he's maybe got a little scar on the door. He's got a little mark in the armour. What can he do in that change position as Piskolty fires in that BMW into that first outside zone? And again, Piskolty on a beautiful lead line, but look at Falvey. He shallows up the angle and loses some ground. He's going to have to work for this one. And Falvey needs to get onto the door as Piskolty's up and gone at this point into outside zone 4. No messing around. The Hungarian wants it as he fires through the middle of the circuit. Falvey on a shallow angle, but he makes a big dive into outside zone 6, but backs off once again. Piskolty hammers the throttle to the floor. Now Falvey finds the front wheel across the line.
Oh, man, so
E92 BMW sits on the line ready to chase down Connor Falvey, the higher qualifier. 2JZ carbon Kevlar S15. Comes through the gears and into initiation. Big drag on the handbrake for Falvey, but sets himself up nicely for outside zone 1. But once again, it opens the door for Kevin Piskolty. A little wobbly from Piskolty there, almost a mistake as they now get in to this long outside zone 4. Look at this from Piskolty, kind of shallowed up the angle, now dials the angle on as Falvey turns up the wick and turns that car to even more angle. And the positioning of Piskolty puts him right where he needs to be as he jumps straight onto the door. As they get into the outside zone, they're both into the wall, but they both make it through as they go across the line.
No, he's giving him a little too much slack.
He certainly is. Well, here we go, off the line, ready to chase down Kevin Piskolty is Connor Falvey. They fire into outside zone 1. Nice initiation from Piskolty, dials on the angle, puts the back bumper towards the wall. Now starts to find the comfort zone, does Kevin Piskolty, as he looks for the transition. Falvey with him, though, as he goes for that front wheel. He needs to bring that aggression. Connor Falvey, the young Irishman, the rookie of 2024, needs to apply some pressure to the Hungarian as they flick through, and it's a good transition from both guys as they get into outside zone 6 onto the wall. Falvey Dean almost tags the walls. He now flicks it towards the door of the BMW.
Yeah, Falvey did much better on this one. He was